So why do we do the techniques? So we've got the exercises, so to speak. So you'll notice in the actual step-by-step curriculum, you've got, state training, form training, exercises, techniques, skills. That can be interchanged together. So exercise, skill, techniques, pretty much the same thing. And then also principles and concepts. Now, coming to the idea of exercises, skills, why do we work on those? We practice those in order to bring the state into those, and ultimately so we know how to defend ourselves if we need to. So how do we make ourselves powerful in all of these movements that will be useful for self-defense? For example, a parry or a block or a punch, or a block into a circular strike, or a grab. So remember, in the Wing Chun system, it's about being effective through maximum power and understanding where to hit a person and making basically efficient. You're looking to just finish a fight straight away. So if you're wanting to do this from the self-defense perspective, simple tip here is hit them as hard as you can at a weak point with all of your power, incapacitate them so you can go home and eat spaghetti. So what I'm getting at is you practice the techniques so that you can put the power into those moves, which will then allow you to develop, of course, skill, which then links to the ability to express them with speed, power, and reflex. So your speed, power, and reflex will develop from the skill training, and you'll put the state into those movements so that you actually move with a strong upright center and posture with maximum amount of mass, momentum, intention, and energy going into your movements so that you can end a self-defense situation as quickly as possible. Now, that's from the self-defense level. Of course, those who are more interested in the internal aspects, meaning cultivating the use of the mind and the energy within the movements, that's what you're doing. Meaning, as you practice the techniques, even though you may start out just thinking about the positioning, where are my limbs going? What are my hands and legs and my body doing? You can be concentrating on the actual mental and energy work whilst doing that. So for example, as you're raising your arm up with a dice out, you can even do this right now. As you do, just follow through the movement like this, you can be concentrating on maintaining your awareness in your center. You can uplift your emotionality by bringing, your higher intention into your heart center and your mind. So that's an example of you bringing the internal work into the movements. Because ultimately that's what we're trying to do anyway, is to bring the state to life in movement. And a side note, so, this could be another way to think about it. Meditation, I've been studying meditation a long time now, since I was 17, so I don't know, 25 plus years. And I even moved to Hong Kong to study with my master for a decade, nearly close to a decade, like 9 years and 11 months or something. And then I moved to Cyprus for 5 years, and I went to America a few times as well to study meditation. And meditation itself generally is you lying down or sitting down, eyes closed, chilling out, doing whichever form of meditation that might be, whether it's breath work or mindfulness or sensing or transcendental or whatever your meditation style might be. Now, the issue with that is that oftentimes meditative practice doesn't have a crossover into real life because it's too passive and too separate from the way you interact in life. That's why something like Kung Fu, something like this type of internal style of Kung Fu is like a moving meditation. So you bring the meditative condition of the state into a moving form, and then into Luk Sao Chi Sao, which is the partner training, and then into your techniques. So you're trying to stay in that centered, calm, peaceful, focused condition whilst moving. So I found there's great benefit in practicing, in an internal martial system like this, in that it brings the meditative condition to life because your eyes are open, you're moving, you're dealing with pressure. So I digress slightly there, but the point is that we do our exercises, our skills training in order to, of course, develop your self-defense skill. That's quite obvious. However, to bring the actual state to life within the movements. There are other side benefits like coordination and reflex and all those things as well. But primarily it's skill development and bringing the state to life within the movements. Okay, any questions? You know where to put them in the community. We can get a discussion going around it and help each other learn and grow and develop. And I look forward to seeing you in our next video.